Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hello there, friends. This is Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for coming back today. We got the air conditioner on here in the Bible Bistro. Got something fresh and cooling for you. As you come in here to sit down, we're going to study today Psalm 55. And we're beginning today in verse 10, and we're going to read through verse 14. And we're going to understand a little bit more about David's complaint. He begins to pray there in verse 9, and then that continues. He's telling the Lord what's wrong. So this is his prayer. He begins by saying, destroy and divide their tongues. Now we remember, and I said this yesterday, the tongue really is the great weapon in the Psalter. It is the thing that probably does more damage. It is the thing that is to be feared the most, the tongue of man. Of course, we can go to the book of James and find out about the tongue. He tells us all about it. It's a deceitful evil set on fire by hell itself. So we're not surprised by that, but we have it so often in the Psalms that really the psalmist confirms, or maybe James confirms, the psalmist's assertions about the tongue. Notice verse 10. Day and night they go about upon the walls thereof. Mischief also and sorrow are in the midst of it. Wickedness in the midst thereof. Deceit and guile depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me, then I could have borne it. Neither was it he that hated me that did magnify himself against me, then I would have hid myself from him. But it was thou, a man my equal, my guide, and mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked unto the house of God in company. So that's 10 through 14, and of course you can see right away that, there's something very interesting happening here. David has said, destroy and divide their tongues, for I've seen violence and strife in the city. I want to talk about that in just a moment, but the city is repeatedly referred to. You'll notice that they're going about, whoever these people are, on the walls. They're in the midst of it. The wickedness is in the midst of it. Deceit and guile don't depart from the streets of it. So the walls, the streets, this is the city where all this is happening, where David is being persecuted. And then he tells us who's doing this to him. And he says, it's not an enemy that reproached me. It's not someone that's hated me or magnified himself against me. So if you remember the story of Absalom's revolt, David was taken by surprise, especially when Ahithophel joined Absalom's team. Now, it probably was that Ahithophel was behind Absalom's team. So Absalom comes into the city and takes it over, but it's the people that are with him that completely sidetrack David, those that are his friends. And you'll notice his description, it was you, mine equal. Now, notice that he says you. So he's pointing to somebody here. My guide, mine acquaintance. We took sweet counsel together and walked in the house, unto the house of God in company. So not only were they friends, but they were close because they worshiped together. They went to the house of God together. In company, it says. So this is this is deceitful. This is horrible. There are a lot of commentators that have said that this refers to Judas, and this is the voice of the Lord Jesus speaking. And I can see that. This is messianic. So who is the one that betrayed Jesus? Judas comes up and kisses him, and he says, Judas, do you betray the Son of Man with a kiss? Only a friend can kiss him and get that close. And so, this is messianic in a very interesting way. The complaint here comes home to us in history as we see it happening to the Lord Jesus. All right, we'll look tomorrow at verses 15 through 18. Hope you'll join me then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.